Hello everyone, welcome back to a new show video around the world.
Throughout the years, there have been many musicians and artists who have left us just too soon. But 2020 has shocked audiences who have lost admired rap figures. Ever since rap made its entrance into the history of music, it became a culture of its own, and thus many artists have become part of an industry that moves dreams, future stars, and even a way of living around it. In honor of those who were part of the rap culture, here's a list of the artists the world lost in 2020. MO3. Dallas rapper MO3 was shot and killed while driving on a freeway in Dallas on Wednesday morning, according to multiple media reports. According to CBS, MO3, whose birth name is Melvin Noble, died after being shot by a suspect who chased him on foot. A spokesperson for the Dallas Police Department told The Wrap that an incident had occurred on the freeway where a man was shot and killed, but they wouldn't disclose the person's identity. A spokesperson for MO3 has not yet responded to The Wrap's request for comment. The suspect, described as an adult black male, exited his car armed with a firearm and began approaching the victim's car. The victim exited his vehicle and began running southward on the freeway. The suspect chased the victim and fired multiple rounds, striking him. In doing so, the suspect also struck an innocent bystander, an adult male who was sitting in his vehicle. The first victim was transported to an area hospital where he died from his injuries. Fifth Ward Weeby. After complications from a ruptured artery surgery, the rapper, whose real name was Jerome Kosi, died at 42 years old on January 9th. Known as the Bounce King, he became a legend and a pioneer in New Orleans bounce rap subgenre in the 90s. While used to collaborate with many other artists like Lil Wayne, Drake, and the duo Partners in Crime, he released his own albums and singles but was especially recognized for his 2005 song F. Katrina to honor people affected by the storm. Rappers such as Snoop Dogg and the Roots Questlove have mentioned being Fifth Ward Weeby fans. Devon Daquan Bennett, known professionally as King Von, was an American rapper and songwriter from Chicago, Illinois. He was signed to Lil Durk's record label, Only the Family and Empire Distribution. On November 6, 2020, King Von was involved in an altercation in a downtown Atlanta nightclub that took place around 3:20 a.m. between two groups of men, one of them associated with rapper Quando Rondo. The dispute quickly resulted in a shootout, which two police officers attempted to break up with additional gunfire. Two people accompanying Bennett were killed and three others were wounded. Bennett was transported to the hospital in critical condition and died later that day. Lexii Alijai. Her real name was Alexis Alijai Lynch, and she started out her career as a SoundCloud and YouTube singer. At only 17 years old, she released her first album, Joseph's Coat, and 2 years later, debuted her second, Growing Pain. She was featured on Kehlani's song, Jealous, from her Grammy-nominated album, and also opened up concerts for artists such as Lil Uzi Vert, Playboi Carti, and Rich the Kid. The rapper was found dead on January 1st at age 21 due to an accidental overdose of fentanyl and ethanol, according to a medical report. Tre Koast. The 21-year-old upcoming rapper was becoming a recognized local new artist. He'd released singles on Apple Music and was featured in rapper Key's single Gifted on SoundCloud. On January 17th, he was killed in a shootout that happened near his family home in North Phoenix. His body was identified inside his vehicle, which was riddled with bullets, according to police reports. Dee Dave. The rapper's most recent single was No More Humble in December 2019, and enlisted rappers such as J. Cole, Drake, Kendrick Lamar, and Joey Badass as artists who are making great music these days. Dee Dave, who worked full-time at a gas and electric company, was shot to death before leaving for Atlanta to play at a show that, according to his family, could have been his big break. He was 29 years old and left a girlfriend and a 10-year-old son. Big Booda. Big Booda was a well-known 24-year-old local rapper in Southeast DC when he was shot while inside his vehicle on February 1st and died afterward at the hospital. His real name was Donnell Hodges, and he had a 1-year-old son. The bad news came after releasing his most recent mixtape, Slide 2, and only a month after his mother's death. Pop Smoke. On February 19th, 20-year-old rapper Pop Smoke, whose real name was Bashar Baraka Jackson, died after being shot at a party by 2 unidentified men. His untimely death came after his mixtape, Meet the Woo 2, reached number 7 on the Billboard Top 200 list. Welcome to the Party, another of his singles, was also remixed with Nicki Minaj. Chynna Rogers. Rogers started out as a model at age 14 before pursuing a career in music. For years, the singer had openly said that she'd been dealing with drug addiction, which she talked about on 90, her 2016 mixtape. According to reports, the 25-year-old was found dead after an accidental drug intoxication at her home in Philadelphia. Considered an emerging inspirational voice, Mac P Dawg was known for his song Let Me Know and Salt Shaker, featuring Doily Bernays. He also collaborated with Shoreline Mafia and had recently released the single Same Kid. Joshua Andrade Galvez, his real name, was shot and killed in Los Angeles on April 6th. After his death, a friend and former Shoreline Mafia member, Phoenix Flexen, released R.I.P. Mac P Dawg, a song to honor the 24-year-old singer. KJ Balla. Noel Kennedy is another untimely deceased rapper who was shot from a moving car. At only 23 years old, he had already co-founded the label From Nothing Records. His songs were streamed in Spotify over 800,000 times, and his latest single, Back to Black, had been released only 1 month before being killed. Other known songs from him are Switch the Game, Strangers, and Cookin' Up. Nick Blixky. The hip-hop singer debuted the single Drive the Boat last October and gathered over 2 million views on YouTube. Right before his death, he posted on his Instagram that he'll be releasing Different Timin', his first ever mixtape. The rapper from Brooklyn was shot and killed in March, a few blocks away from his home at age 21. Pop Smoke. Bashar Baraka Jackson, known professionally as Pop Smoke, was an American rapper, singer, and songwriter. He was considered by many to be the face of Brooklyn drill. Born and raised in Canarsie, Brooklyn, Pop Smoke began his musical career in 2018. He often collaborated with UK drill artists and producers who employed more minimal and aggressive instrumentation than drill artists from Chicago. Pop Smoke rose to fame with the release of his breakout single, Welcome to the Party, in April 2019. Pop Smoke died on February 19, 2020, after being shot twice during a home invasion in Hollywood Hills, California. According to authorities, 4 hooded men entered the home at about 4:30 a.m. on February 19th. One of them wore a ski mask and carried a handgun. Police received news of the home invasion from a call from the East Coast. Police arrived at the home 6 minutes later and found Pop Smoke with multiple gunshot wounds. He was taken to Cedars-Sinai Medical Center, where he was pronounced dead. On February 21st, the Los Angeles County Department of Medical Examiner coroner revealed that the cause of Pop Smoke's death was a gunshot wound to the torso. Pop Smoke was interred at Greenwood Cemetery in Brooklyn. On July 10th, 5 men were arrested in connection with his murder. 4 were charged with his murder: Corey Walker, age 19, Keandre Rogers, 18, and 2 teenagers aged 17 and 15. Since the crime was committed during a robbery, the adults are eligible for the death penalty. A 5th person, 21-year-old Jaquan Murphy, was charged with attempted murder. Lawrence Franks Jr., better known by his stage name Huey, was born on September 12, 1987, in Kinloch, Missouri, where he was raised. He moved to the Walnut Park neighborhood of St. Louis when he was 5 and returned to St. Louis County as a teenager. In an interview, he remembered his community as having a lot of drugs going on and, of course, a little bit of violence. He said that his experiences growing up in a tough area inspired his rap lyrics. Franks, the youngest of 4 children, recalled his childhood being really tough and stated, "My mama and daddy were on drugs. My brother was in and out of jail. The foster people were chasing me. It was crazy." Around 11 p.m. on June 25th, 2020, Huey and an unidentified 21-year-old male were both shot in front of Huey's home in Kinloch, Missouri. Huey was taken to a hospital where he died shortly after arriving. The other victim survived, according to the Ferguson police. Huey is survived by his 13-year-old daughter.